But moving back to the state, moving back to the United States politics, we had some interesting things concerning our currency and the Federal Reserve. Brian, can you fill us in what's going on there?
As I mentioned in the opening on Saturday, the Justice Department issued grand jury subpoenas to the Federal Reserve. We are told they relate to the testimony of Federal Reserve Chairman Powell to Congress earlier this year, and relating to a really extravagant, in my view, over $1 billion project to renovate the offices of the Federal Reserve. I think pretty extravagant, but most societies have had extravagant expenses on building banks. Think about the image of most bank buildings you think about. They look like Roman temples from the imperial era. But first of all, what is a grand jury subpoena? What's going on? Under the federal system, under the Constitution, to bring criminal charges, generally, you have to go to what's called a grand jury. It's a group of lay people who are non-lawyers, particularly who are just citizens who are called. It's grand because it's a larger number. You usually think of a jury as 12. This is a larger number. And their purpose is not to decide whether a person committed a crime, is guilty or innocent, but whether the government has enough information and evidence to warrant bringing criminal charges, even starting a case. So it's a procedural safeguard, supposedly, against an unbounded government just bringing charges against people, that at least this group of people have to look at the evidence that's available to the government and say, okay, you have enough to at least start a case to go forward. It is a pretty low procedural bar. Many lawyers will joke that you could indict a ham sandwich, mostly because it is a single proceeding. The people who are the subject of it are not there. They don't get to defend themselves. But it is something, right? You need to at least convince often, dozens of people that there is enough smoke to essentially say there's a fire. So Powell came out over the weekend with a kind of a surprising reaction. He posted a video online where he essentially said that this was legal warfare. He didn't use that word, but that this had nothing to do with him doing anything immoral or illegal. And it just had to do that he wouldn't lower interest rates like Donald Trump wants, that it was purely political prosecution. And I want to talk about that claim in two respects. One, a little more philosophically, because I think at the root of this and some other legal cases that have been going on, the attempt of President Trump to remove another Federal Reserve governor, his attempt to deal with the Consumer Protection Financial Bureau, and some other federal agencies. And that is a claim that goes back to a man named Max Weber. Max Weber was a radical revolutionary, the early 20th century, German sort of legal scholar in many ways. And his view of law, to simplify, was essentially that law was not to be made by rulers, by sovereigns, by lawgivers, right? But by experts. And essentially his philosophy is, law by independent, unaccountable experts, scientific experts. And it became very dangerous when his views became sort of aligned with legal positivism. And always in Catholic legal theory, there is accountability of the ruler. In a system that involves democratic elements or Republican elements, that is often through electing officials who oversee and who execute the laws and make the laws. But even in monarchies and aristocracies, it's through duties of the lawgivers and certain responsibilities to which they will be held account in this life and beyond for properly pursuing the common good. But it's an idea that all rulers are accountable. And what Weber wanted is to remove that accountability, to essentially say you can elect in the modern system democratically elected rulers, republicanly elected rulers, but really who should do all the work are these scientific experts who should basically be immune from any oversight and should just be left. We saw this really rear its head, Max Weber's theory in COVID, right? Trust the experts, let science rule. People who your governor, the president, they can't have anything to say with it. These scientific experts should be able to tell you what you can and can't do.
Hey there, thanks for watching. If you want to see the full video, you're going to have to go to pelicanplus.com and sign up for our groundbreaking, truly Catholic platform. You can find your favorite podcasts. You can find your favorite prayers. You can find your favorite authors and even your favorite books. Visit pelicanplus.com and find out more.